Then, you know one thing I should have did? Oh, that I ain't think about either. That's inside. Boom. Let's do that. Let's try that. Yeah. Keep the people from bothering with us. Keep the people from bothering with us. Yeah, man. Wow. Shit getting, well, it's getting juicy. It's getting juicy. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? YouTube Nation, it's getting juicy. Let me put my headphones on so I can hear everybody really, 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 really good. Yes, man. Darlene, how you doing? Mr. or Mrs. Brown, Tommy, how you doing? Pretty blazing, what's going on? Yes, indeed, man. Woo! Boy. Ah, God is good. We here another day. So grateful, you know. I heard, what this guy named? I heard one of these late night people, Bill Maher, you know, not a fan, but, you know, I don't have a problem with him either. But I heard him talk about somehow everybody just having meltdowns. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, hopefully people can just get back to life and breathe. Understand that this is just an election, but it is definitely worthy of talking about. It is. So what my Democrats? I want some of the Democrats to come talk to me tonight. Tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. Yeah, man. Sherwin Duke, how you doing? Big dog. Kakuk. I don't know if I said that right, but how you doing, my friend? And so, you know, I'm a Dem. Come up. Come up. It's a conversation, not an argument. Who is this? Cindy. Come on up if you want to. I mean, just because you're a Democrat don't mean you're all the way to the left. So, you know, come up if you like to come up. You're definitely welcome. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. And like I said, I'm actually asking more than I'm speaking tonight. And who are you? Well, I'm just a guy. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. I'm sorry. All right. Good evening. Dainty Blue. All right. All right. All right. No, I just was saying I'm just a nobody. Who are you? Dainty Blue. Come on up and talk about it. But I'm looking for Cindy. She says she a Democrat. I would love to hear, you know. Um, and so we're learning some things. We're learning some things. Biden has a few French. Well, you know, I mean, all right. I mean, I do have to read comments. So, Hyperdrive said Biden is a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. Oh man, Kamala. All right, Kamala. Let's see. So, Rhonda Social. So if I can get some Democrats to kind of even Republicans, I mean, I don't even think it's a question just for Democrats to ponder on. It's like if Republicans had to say, all right, I mean, first of all, who would you rather face? If you're a Republican, would you rather face Biden or what's definitely seeming to be like some replacements? I mean, we got to be kidding ourselves that we're not hearing what's going on, you know. And I'm definitely positive that a lot of people might not know because, you know, they don't want you to know about the panic. But I don't think Joe Biden is going to make it on the ticket. And it looks like it's going to be either Kamala or Gretchen Whitmer. He from Harlem. Okay, Jay say he from Harlem. I'm an independent, but I'm not too into Bidenomics. I would love, okay, that's pretty blazing. You definitely welcome to come up and speak about it. Joe will be stepping, see, that's somebody that's somebody who's paying attention right there. So Queen, 9876, I think so too. So Gladiator Man says Kamala is a win for Trump. Now Gladiator Man, I'm actually now. That's where I would love to. I would love you to come up and speak if you want to. I kind of. It seemed like she would be, but I heard this is where it gets interesting. And James Clyburn came out and he made a bold statement, and that's how I knew. Uh, that's how I knew it was getting really serious. When James Clyburn, if we remember, Joe Biden, I'm just saying for the people who've been following everything. And so if we remember, Joe Biden was at the bottom. He wasn't even in this contest to be president any longer after Kamala Harris put him on blast. And so, yeah, I appreciate that, William. And so Joe Biden was at the bottom. So it was James Clyburn. That's who it was. How you doing? I appreciate the follow, man. Yeah, it was James Clyburn who spoke out and really pulled Joe Biden from the bottom of the barrel, because other than that, it was going to be either probably Elizabeth Warren or what's this old Bernie Sanders, the Bernie brothers. And so we got to remember James Clyburn carried heavy weight, heavy weight. And the reason why he carried that heavy weight is because he carried the heavy black vote. And so I agree with Gladia Man. Her approval rating is worse than Biden's. Gladia Man is dropping facts. Her approval rating is worse than Biden's. She has not done anything meaningful. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Welcome. How are you? I appreciate you, brother. Welcome. Yeah, man. I can't even argue with that. So, oh man. Having said that, if the choice is her or Gretchen Whitmer, what is worse? I mean, I don't know what Gretchen Whitmer's qualifications are either. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, Steve Dance said, I'm off the DNC plantation, I hope. All right. Well, apparently that's somebody who don't listen to me very much. But anyway, all right. So Bobby said, Ashley Babbitt. Ah, man, this is a person who got some history. So MAGA wanted the Epstein files. Now we have them, and you guys don't want to read them. What's up? Oh, ooh, wow. Heavy statements. Heavy statements. Anybody want to join me? Do I got any Democrats on the feed that want to come up and... or Republicans? If there's a Republican that can actually say, hey, if we have to lose, if Republicans have to say, all right, if a Democrat had to be in, what qualifications, speaking as a Democrat, somebody, what was Cindy? Talk to us. Hunter's laptop. All right. Bitsky. Hunter's laptop. Ashley Babbitt says hello with 150 pages of Epstein files. Trump all over them. It's all over Twitter now. Hey, I will admit I did see some of that from my brother JJ on here last night. He made sure he wanted to share that with me. And damn, it was ugly. It was ugly. It definitely was ugly. And I was saying to myself, I actually told my brother, that was the first time. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah. You definitely could go and look. She's not lying about that. The only thing about it is I did question one thing with AI being as powerful as it is, but she is not lying about that. Somebody showed it to me last night after we went live, and he just wanted to make sure that I saw that. And woo, it was okay. Epstein introduced Trump to Melania, hyperdrive. Ah, man, come up and talk about it. But I actually was trying. Wow. All right, so obviously, there are not a lot of Democrat people. I mean, there are some Democrat people in here, but they're not going to come up and talk. But they definitely dropping some heat. It's real, homie. Ashley, okay, she telling me it's real. I'm not even arguing with it. I'm like I said, I wouldn't even confess that I saw it if I had any real serious question about it. The only thing I could say about it is that's when you just say everybody that that says they can forgive Joe Biden for all of his crazy stuff, and then they look at that and have a judgment, then they will be proven to be hypocritical. But having said that, when I saw that picture last night, I was like, whoa, you know, it was whoa. And so, yeah, man, yeah. And bits KRG, you definitely right about that. So who won the debate? Spencer 17, how you doing, my brother? You definitely welcome to come up and speak to us about it. In my opinion, who won the debate? It wasn't even close. I don't even think it was a contest. I think, if we're talking about the debate, I think one guy had butterflies, and the only time you go into a fight with butterflies is if you're nervous about something, if you're lying about something, if you got something to hide, if you're worried about if you're overstudied or you're overpracticed, and then you're going to forget things. But I'm going to tell you something. When you're speaking from the heart, you don't have to have shit written down. Excuse me for saying that. And so you don't have to. Blitz said it was elderly abuse. So somebody else is agreeing with who I said. Somebody said it was elderly abuse. And I kind of agree with that. It wasn't even close. If I'm Trump, I'm sitting down saying, why do I debate this guy again unless it's under my terms? You know, you made all of these crazy rules. You made all of the rules. I went with it. So why do I debate this guy again? Unless it's under my terms this time. Unless it's in front of a Tucker Carlson or, a Sean Hannity. You know, maybe a PBD broadcast. Why would I even sit down with Joe Biden again after what we saw? He don't have to. Especially under the conditions that Joe Biden made that contest be under. Jill finally has a babysitter. Wow. I'm going to tell you something. Queen 9876... you know about some things that a lot of people don't know about. So Jill finally has her babysitting job back. So you know a lot about the history of Joe Biden and Jill possibly being the babysitter of Hunter and anyway, that's okay. Queen 9876, cut it out. We're talking about Gretchen Whitmer here. I'm kidding. She dropping facts. Who do you like for VP? All right, so it depends on what you're asking me. You're asking me who do I like for VP as a Republican candidate or a Democrat candidate, because we just come on here every night trying to have good conversation. You know, I happen to like the side that's actually speaking the best. 4 years later, I might like another side because they're actually going into a better direction. And what we have now, you can be the VP. Cindy can be the VP. Blazing can be the VP. I wouldn't care who's the VP if the guy who is saying, I will keep, and I'm going to tell you something. When I say the guy, I'm going to say something else. The guy or the woman who is bold enough to make this promise to America. And I don't believe I got to say this. I will keep men out of women's sports. I will keep boys out of girls' locker room at all of these certain ages in school where girls don't even want to participate in sports no more. So you're asking me who I like for VP? I don't give a doggone who's the VP. As long as the one guy at the top is saying that I'm willing to actually run this according to the way it should be ran, and actually according to the benefit of the people and not the government. And to be honest, my friend, it's only one person who's proven to do that as of lately. And a lot of people don't like that guy. But I'm going to tell you something. All of the billionaires that don't like him and all of the powerful people that don't like him, those are the people that run the world, seemingly, to me. All right, anyway, we're talking about Gretchen Whitmer and and Kamala Harris. We're trying to. But if we want to stay on Trump and Biden, I'm more than happy to do that. Let me see. Let me see some. Okay, so, all right, let's see. Feel fine. Trump 28. Feel fine. All right. Ramaswamy. Somebody like Ramaswamy. I love Harris. Damn good. Okay. So Feel Fine says, I love Kamala Harris. She would be a damn good VP. Now, this is the person who I want to speak to. And not in an argumentative way. So if you would like to come up, Blair, I just invited you up, my brother, or my sister. And yeah, so I would love to hear, because if Kamala Harris, I mean, I don't care what people want to say. We just saw a huge machine, so we can't say what's going to happen. So if we're sitting down and we're saying it's a choice out of, they're actually trying to get Biden out of here. Somebody else who's kind of following what's going on, kind of acknowledge the same thing. They feel that Biden will be stepping down in a week. I kind of agree with him, whether it's a week or two, but being that the DNC is coming up and being that the election is close, I would have to say if it's gonna happen, it needs to happen now. How about Constitution and common sense? Hey, I agree with that, my brother. Constitution and common sense. The problem with the Constitution is everything we see right now. And so, what is the Constitution anymore? I mean, what did we just see happen in New York? Because according to the Constitution, everything that we see, whether you like Donald Trump or not, only real people, men and women, can actually say that and admit it. They can hate Donald Trump, but they can also acknowledge that what happened in New York and the other things that's happening wasn't good for the Constitution. And so, having said that, I agree with you, common sense and Constitution, but also we got to get back to God and the foundation of the country is built on some principles of God. And so whether you want to be a Christian, whether you want to be a Muslim, whether you want to, any of those things that gives you a serious foundation of God, there is no God that I know of under the basic religions in America. No God is pushing what the Democrats have been pushing. And they're not only pushing it politically with power, the power of the pen. The power of the pen is different. It's different than a politician standing up saying, I don't like Central Park 5 and I think they should be done away with. According to everything I'm seeing in the news and reports and the media, even the black folks, even the churches, according to what they're saying, I think the Central Park 5 should be executed, somewhere along those lines. All right, that's with a voice. The power of the pen gives you the power to actually think that. You can actually go in your room and think the worst things, or you can think the best things. But when it comes down to it, that pen carries more power than your thoughts. And Joe Biden had the power of the pen, and he's bringing destruction. And a lot of it is coming. I wish I wouldn't have said Joe Biden. I wish I would have just said the direction of what it seems to be a lot of Democrat-led policies and supported policies are being led with under the direction of the Democrats. And so I feel like common sense and Constitution, yeah, but also a real foundation of God again in this country, and not this thing where you see religion and spirituality under attack. That is not going to be good, my brother. I live in the hood. I love the hood. I love my community. I've always been a fighter for my community. But I do understand this, and I've been in revolutionary parties all my life that has said that we need community control of the police and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. A godless society would be hell in this community. That is something I've come to realize. Maybe it take a little age to do that. Maybe it take a little age for you to get there and say it. But after living it for so long, yeah, a godless society wouldn't be good either, my friend. So I really wouldn't care who the vice president is. I'm hoping it's a good choice. I think Vivek is good if you're speaking as a Republican. But I really want to hear about my friend who says she think Kamala Harris is a great VP, and possibly would also be a great president. And I think it's worthy of talking about because like I said, I think one of the things that Republicans that should actually think about and be concerned with is when James Clyburn made that statement about Joe Biden, who would he support? And would he support a split ticket? Would he support Kamala Harris being in front? He said yes. But he also made it clear that this needs to be a Biden-Harris ticket. And so I think that was a threat because That was the threat to the Democratic Party. Because James Clyburn's watching, he's watching what's going on, he see it, and he letting them know, you know what I brought to you last time with my black vote, with my black voice. I pulled Joe Biden up from the bottom of the barrel, and I got him elected as president because I was able to lead every black person. Okay. Yeah, every black person to vote for Joe Biden. Not every black person, but most. And that swung the election. Everybody knows that is a fact if they were watching. My brother, like I said, yes, definitely Vivek. If you're speaking as a Republican. And so, yeah, James Clyburn's word carried a lot of weight, and it made me kind of wonder. I'm like, whoa, because if that's the ticket, and he did say he would support Kamala, who would be the VP for Kamala? I don't know. Would it be Kamala and Gretchen? Would that be good? Somebody talk to me. Would that be good? Or would it just be a Kamala and Kamala make another pick? Who would that be? Would they reverse it and just say Kamala? Let me see. So, all right, fine. We don't. All right. Yes. I don't care if Joe goes in a nursing home. I will vote for him. Never Trump. All right. So, Faith Strong 95. I don't care if Joe Biden goes into a nursing home. I will vote for him. Wow. I always say, anybody willing to make those kind of statements are bold people. So I just gave you an applause. But I do agree with what my brother Trump 2020 from California 2024 said, and he said that's crazy. Something nice and simple. That's crazy. I find it sad. And if my friend want to come up and definitely talk about it, hey. Oh, whoa. All right. Blitz, Kamala, and Whoopi. All right. At least he's talking. How anybody feel about that? Kamala and Whoopi. I think one thing that Blitz realized is they're dependent on the swing of the black vote. And the way they were able to mobilize that black vote last time should be scary to some people, especially if you're like a Republican. If you start getting these people on stage, by the way, they jumped on stage and they start saying stuff like they not like us. You got Kamala Harris saying, starting to sing rap songs to start to try to, why not take a famous line? The best line going right now for black people in the hood. They not like us. They not like us. Kendrick Lamar just did the best concert ever, drawing, love and all this and that between, Bloods, Crips, maybe some GDs, maybe every gang in the hood was on that stage at one point. Best thing I've seen in a long time. It was just simply, you got to say it. And he ripped the stage up. He ripped it. But they want to take that. By the way, anybody who saw the concert, they know he did that song to drive it into Drake. He did that song probably 5 times. It was excellent. I mean, this guy put on a show like none other. But anyway, now you got the black politicians, the black ones, the black VP. They're starting to be seen saying these statements on TV. I think it's despicable. They're saying, vote for me because I know your favorite rap song. Not because I know anything. Not because I want to do what's right for you and your family. But because I know your favorite rap song. They're not even coming to us with policy. And so when I say us, I'm going to speak as a voter. And as I said, speaking as somebody, if you're just sitting down and you're saying, all right, it's possible that the Democrats could win. And it's possible that if they move the ticket the right way, a Kamala Harris and despite how bad Gavin Newsom is destroying California, a Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, a Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer. I mean, or a Gretchen Whitmer or a Kamala Harris and a Gretchen Whitmer. 2 women. We know how they play the women card. And it's amazing to me how the women support it so much. You're going to hear this woman card. It's going to sound like this. I don't practice sounding like a woman much. But here it goes. They've been holding women down for so long. Y'all know how it sounds. We had to fight to do this. They're going to use Kamala. And you know what else she's going to say? Is y'all already? So they're going to use all of these strong women points, by the way, which I agree with. All right. I do want to say that. I don't want no women to beat me up in here because I'm acting like it wasn't important. No, I'm supporting that. I'm like 100% supportive of the fight that women had to have. But I'm letting you know the same people that is gonna remind you of it are the same ones that are with the power of the pen. Remember the power of the pen. Same ones that are saying, women, you are now equal to the same your male counterpart. Women at the age of 6 or maybe even, I don't know, younger, we can start entertaining your child to the idea and thought of changing their gender. The same party, the same party that is disrespecting little girls in locker rooms all over the country. The same party that won't allow girls, I mean, my gosh. And so, I spent 7 years in the Army, and it wasn't for the regime. All right. Yeah. I don't know what. How you doing, ZC? Crack is whack, sir. Yes, sir. It is. I agree, my friend. And so, yeah, man. So if you're one of those people sitting down and you're thinking to yourself, I'm just simply trying to find out. Like somebody said, they definitely think Kamala Harris would be a great VP. Is a great VP. Would she be a good president? Would you like to come up and say anything that you feel like may qualify? I won't say would that actually would qualify even Gretchen Whitmer to be president or to do good in that office. These are the people that the Democrats are speaking about. And so, how you doing, Special 17? Sure, I'm for equal rights, but don't hire them. Ooh, whoa. I like it. All right, so we got a real positive, powerful comment from my friend Spencer. And he said, sure, I'm for equal rights. I'm for equal rights. Yes. But don't hire them. Don't hire them for DEI, or I think he's saying DEI shouldn't be a case where people are getting jobs over, qualified people. And so, I think one thing you can see all over the country at UCLA, the medical programs, a lot of the medical students have failed their test. That's been a report from UCLA. And so, why are they failing the test? Because they were getting in the class under DEI status. And so, these medical students that are going to be operating on you and I and our grandparents and our grandmothers and grandfathers and our children, coming from UCLA could possibly be a little bit under skilled. So you might want to check into who's operating on you. All right. Jasmine Crockett for VP. Sand Red X said Jasmine Crockett for VP. Come up and talk about it. Jason said, Gretchen, do as I say. Ooh, my friend. Jason has been paying attention for a long time. Do as I say. And not as I do. Doing the vid. I appreciate you for giving me that hint too. I probably would have slipped on it, Jason. Good comment. Great comment. Not just a good one for those that don't understand what Jason's talking about. Gretchen Whitmer, she made a lot of rules, made a lot of lockdown rules, but do as I say and not as I do. She did not follow those rules for herself. All right. Yes. And so, let me see. I got somebody. Let's talking, man. Let's come on up and talk about it. How you doing? That was a heavy comment you made there.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good evening. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the live. I'm really enjoying it.
I appreciate it.
I will say this.
Okay.
I will say this. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm riding with Joe Biden to the end.
Okay.
So, I'm riding with Biden. However, I didn't see the debate, so I don't know. So I can't judge off what I didn't see.
Right.
I've heard stories here and there. I don't know.
Right.
But people say, but I know Joe Biden has done a lot of things for the
Mm-hmm.
country that people don't want to recognize, that people don't want to acknowledge.
Right.
However, maybe he might do need to step down, step aside, and let someone else. And like, I think Kamala would do a good job, but I think also Kamala Harris would also. I think she would do a good job, but I think she's a strong woman.
Okay.
Also, I was saying Jasmine Crockett because Jasmine Crockett, she's out of Texas.
Okay.
She's
I'm familiar with her.
Jasmine Crockett. They say she's a strong. She was, and I don't want to use the term strong black woman, but in her case, it is what it is. She has a lot of respect from a lot of the same from both parts.
Yes. Now I agree with that. I agree with you 100% on that.
When she made that statement about MTG, not only were there people on the left side laughing, but also a lot of people on the right side were laughing too. I think that Jasmine Crockett will have a good chance to help to secure that black vote. Not only the black vote of black women, also with a lot of black men, also with a lot of other minorities, also with a lot of white men who are also blue collar, also with those who are some who are white collar. So I think that ticket right there, you're saying Harris Crockett, that would be an awesome ticket. If not her, Dr. Candace Matthews out of Texas, she's another bad sister.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. This question not particularly from me. So Blitz want to know from you, Red, and it's just a question that he wants to know, and I'm gonna give you. He can hear you. People on YouTube can hear you. So I'm pretty sure it's a question that a lot of people want to ask other Democrats as well. And so he wants to know from Red. I mean to you, Red. How have the Democrats helped you directly? Now, the first thing, before you answer that, I want to say this. I really appreciate you joining. And the first thing you said is, I am a Biden supporter. I'm going to support him no matter, whatever. But, and then you actually backed it up with people that you had references of that you could support and reasons why. A lot of times when people feel like you don't agree with them, or just to put it plain and simple, they feel like you're a Republican or you're speaking for Trump. They come on in an argumentative way, and I just appreciate the way you came on. You announced that you was for Biden, and as you can see, I don't have a problem with it. The more I learn from people that support Biden, it's important for me to understand why, because in the end, they could win again. And so I think it's better to understand how and why rather than to just continue to banner your head against it. And so I appreciate your comments. So if you want to tell me and other people that may want to know, someone wanted to know what has the Democrats directly done to help you.
Well, then, well, most of all, I'm like this. What the Democrat Party has done for me, let's leave it this way. Like, I live in New York City. Well,
Okay.
So there you have it right
Uh-oh.
I can't.
Sorry for laughing. Sorry for laughing.
I can't say for everybody else, but I myself, I hear people. I've heard stories. I know blah 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 blah. But I know they want to say the crime rate here in New York City, but there's crime everywhere. We can go into red states. Dallas is a city in a red state. Houston, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Birmingham, Memphis, Tennessee. They're all in. I don't care if they say they're blue cities, but they're still inside of a red state. So basically, I just wanted to just put that out there because a lot of people love to try to jab you with that one. So it's like this. I like how the Democratic Party themselves were fighting for women's rights, women equalities.
Hold on, 1 second. Now every now and then I might hear you say something that I might want you to clarify, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
I'm not a cream puff. Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate that, but and I'm not gonna try to treat you like one, but and it definitely sounds like you've been paying attention, and so it's too late to back out now, right? I gotta go in.
No, go ahead. Ask
All
the
right.
question.
So you just said you respect how the Democrats are standing up and protecting women's rights? I really need you to explain that to me. When first, let me explain. Let me ask you. You have a Supreme Court justice who was selected almost on the basis of a man coming out and saying, we're looking for gay people, black people, and women. All right, the same way he picked out his press secretary. And then this woman, during her selection process, didn't even want to say or could not even answer when the question was asked to her, a black woman. So as a black man, I was definitely offended and disappointed. But I think even white men and white women were probably disappointed. They asked her, what is a woman? And she declined to answer what a woman was. They struggled with her to answer, define a woman. She would not do it. I cannot give you a pass by saying the Democrats are the ones protecting women's rights. In fact, the Democrats, Trump stands up at every rally, whether we like Trump or not. But when anybody has to stand up, and as a matter of fact, he says these words, I can't believe I have to say this. So when anybody stands up and say, I will keep men out of women's sports. I will keep boys from violating girls' locker rooms. And so I'm just saying those are direct things. Those are direct things whether you like Trump or not, or Biden or not. Those are direct Oh, wait.
So when you finish speaking,
Okay.
I wanna speak since you shifted the conversation.
Oh, no. I didn't shift it. No, I didn't shift it.
No. Because like since we opened that door, we can talk about it.
Actually, I just want you to understand. You opened the door by saying the Democrats are the ones protecting women's rights. So I really don't open doors, and I wanted to really understand that because that's one thing about me. I'm definitely, when people pointed out to me some things that they saw with Trump last night with all kind of pictures. What's up, my friend Daniel? With all kind of pictures that they felt like they wanted me to see. Hey, look, I'm one of the first ones to go out and say it was disgusting. I didn't like it. I ate a lemon last night and whatever. And so, but I don't like to see when other people won't admit the smallest thing. And of course, I'm not mad, but I'm just saying I have to not come at you, but ask you for clarity when you say, it's a lot. You could complain about Trump. You could complain about some things you hearing with this Project 20. You could say a lot, but it's hard for any woman to stand up and say, the Democrats are the ones protecting women's rights. You have nothing to say on that to support other than abortion. And I know that's what you're going to say. An abortion cannot be more powerful than the fact that they can stop creation altogether by changing and messing with gender, like playing God. Come on, man. That's the biggest insult on humanity. That should not be on a party. That's humanity.
You're speaking, but when you finish speaking, I will speak respectfully.
Respectfully, go ahead and respond respectfully. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And I just want you to know you opened the door by saying that. I just want you to know
Okay. All right.
All right.
Since we opened that door.
No, you opened that door.
Okay. All right, brother. Check it out, brother. Since the doors are now open, so let's just open this door and. This door's open. Let me just say what I have to say.
I want to right quick before you say something. I want to welcome Stephen or Stephen and how you doing? Appreciate you for joining and speak up as soon as Red finish coming back at me about this thing. I'm definitely want to hear what you got to say, my friend. So go ahead, Red.
Okay, all right. And the reason why I say that is because of this. Like I have a granddaughter.
Okay.
So I'm very concerned about my granddaughter. In the near future, my granddaughter is only 1 year old, but but she's not gonna be 1 year old forever. So yes, I do worry about that. So now since we speak of LGTB and all etc., I myself, I am.
It doesn't matter.
You say I am that.
Yeah.
But I have 2 sons. I have three grandbabies, 2 grandboys, and I have 1 granddaughter.
Yes.
However,
right.
I'm like this. Men, if let's just say if my granddaughter, let's just say when my granddaughter grows up to become a teenage girl, and she wants to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to play basketball with other females who were born like her.
Right.
I want her to be in spaces with girls who were born like her. Now, however, it's a difference between being, oh my God, I'm trying to, because I don't want to offend nobody.
No, I don't.
But,
I think you're
I don't
speaking
want to offend
well.
nobody, but I also don't want to because like, that community comes at me so much because they say that I'm phobic against my community. That's not my community, but I'm just speaking as a father and a grandfather. But
Okay.
I'm like this. I don't want that type of thing for my granddaughter. I don't want someone who was biological like me sharing the space with my granddaughter.
Okay.
And I said that right there is what I think the line is being drawn and being crossed. I don't think children should be taught this stuff in school. I think children should be taught about how to be a child. If you want to teach to be more economically advanced so they can be competitive against other nations and things like that on the on a more academic level, things of that nature. About trying to pick out your own gender, I just think it's ridiculous. So
Okay.
the reason why I say that, like, let's just say something. The reason why I say about women's rights. Let's just say my granddaughter have a situation that may arise, because you
Okay.
don't never know what weirdos is out there, what type of people out there. And let's just say a situation happened to where my granddaughter is violated, let's say 16 years from now, and it's out of this violation that she decides, you know what, I don't want to have the memory of this violation, but now there's no way to where she can, find a way to detach herself from that violation.
Okay.
So now my granddaughter is psychologically scarred
Right.
because of this, and now she has that memory that she has to deal with 18 years of something that she may grow up to not like and
All right.
do further things.
All right,
I'm just
look.
trying to be respectful.
All right, let me say something really quick to you, Red, and I appreciate everything you said, and then I want to because Steven's on, Mike got some good bread for the conversation, because I'm gonna be honest with you, my friend. I'm just listening to everything you said, and now we're talking as friends. I have granddaughters in sports as well, volleyball. I saw a video of a young girl getting spiked in the face with a volleyball, and I envisioned that being my granddaughter. And I imagined if I had been in the crowd, what would I have done, because I go to her volleyball games all the time. She also likes flag football now. I have several granddaughters. And I'm not the only one. You, and people on YouTube, people on Instagram, people on TikTok, people all on the world, not on this stuff. Um, People everywhere have daughters that now have a less chance in sports, in the sports world. Um, I think it actually is unfair, because I think sports and activities, when they get to exercise themselves and get themselves away from the phones, get themselves away from all of this different stuff, and men too, but our young girls need to be able to get in their safe space and do it. So I'm just saying this real quick, judging everything that you said, and it sounds good. You sound like a loving grandfather, and that's what's needed. No matter what your practice is as a grown person, who it's supposed to be like, who cares? It sounds like you want the best for your kids. So based on what you said, you need to really look into what party would benefit you, because there is no way that you can actually come to that conclusion, that because the only fear, and I acknowledge this for all women, I say this for all women, I'm not bashing the thought of abortion, but the only fear when it comes to your kids, your daughters, having some fear of the Republicans when it comes to gender would be abortion. When it comes to Democrats, you have to remember this. Before Trump overturned Roe v. versus Wade, Obama let it stand. All of those presidents let it stand. How long was Roe v. Wade in place? 50 some years. right? And so would you rather have a federal government overstanding everything, making one rule, or would you rather it be back to the states the way it is now? It may not be fair, but it's better than what it was. And as you can see, you might have, it's I'm not a woman, and I've never had a child, and I never will be granted that pleasure of carrying a life, and so I can't speak on it. But I would say that most of the people spoke of it is more damaging. Almost anything is more damaging in the power of the federal government when they can make a blanket law. Nobody should want that. And so I'm saying I think you have a better situation in the hands of the Republicans, who are saying we want to give you better abortion laws, but we also want to protect your daughters, your granddaughters, your women in school. And we want to allow and protect the very right that women have fought for throughout this country. I think that when you have to take a vote, that vote goes on the Republican side, hands down. That's what I think. Steven, I don't know which way you pronounce it, but I appreciate your patience, and I want to hear what you got to talk about, my friend.
Good evening to everyone. It's actually I'm Steven. And,
Steven, okay, how you doing?
Allowing me to be here. Great. How are you all? I just came in on the sort of the end of the conversation about
Yes.
the LGBT, and that I was talking about his grandchildren. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you can hear me pretty good.
Yes.
But anyway, I hear what you're saying, my friend, but I sort of disagree
Okay.
with the Republicans as far as being supportive of anybody. And the reason I say that is behind the fact I don't know that much about politics. Just recently, in the last couple of years, I've started watching a lot of the things that's actually transpiring. And I like it. And I started watching a lot of the Congress and the House, doing their hearings and things of that sort. A lot of the bills that were actually put on the floor. And it bombards me, and no disrespect to you, my friend, but it bombards me when House bills come on the floor that the Republicans don't support. And then, they go out and talk about how the Democrats, and it's not about me being a Democrat, Republican, it's just the facts.
Right, okay.
And they go out and they go on the floor, and then they start propaganda talking about, the Democrats didn't want this, but you have 216 Democrats voting yes on the bill, and you have 219 Republicans voting no on the bill. That's right before our face. And I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we don't really call them out for the hypocrisy. I'm going to say this and I'll land my plane.
Okay.
Case in point, veterans. They did not vote to support the veterans bill. Number two,
who didn't?
Children getting Republicans.
Okay.
They voted it down. The Republicans voted down on children getting lunch. And now with Roe versus Wade, the Republicans wanted this. Trump wanted it. The Supreme Court enacted. And I just don't think that we do ourselves a service. What happens when the Republican Party or the Supreme Court come after us as men and say, hey, you can't have no more than 5 children? How do you feel as men?
I mean, all right. Well, I appreciate everything you added. I think first the question was more about, we were speaking in tense about possibly looking at just education-wise, which administration the brother felt like the Democrats was better for education because of his granddaughters, and because of their protection of women's rights. And so that's where you may have heard some of that stuff come up, because a lot of what the Democrats don't speak to the protection of women's rights, other than the fact that they are more supportive of abortion. And so that's what that was about. as far as some of the things that you were saying, I don't argue with that. I definitely agree with you, as a matter of fact. But I also would have ask you, and hopefully you would agree that exactly what you said is it happens in both parties. I mean, it happens in both parties. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, that definitely happens in both parties. And you know, the Democrats will make votes on something. Black Sugar Queen, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We doing good. We doing good. And so yeah, we just talking about how you know. But I think my friend Steven, the Democrats and the Republicans both play that game, the blame game. You know, and then if you actually go and look, because that's something I do myself. Um, when you actually go and look, you actually find out that you know all of the Republicans voted this way and all of the Democrats voted this way, no matter which way you supported it. And if you're a Republican, a lot of times you look and see Democrat bills that, I mean, Democrats standing against bills that you feel in your heart they should have supported. And if you're a Democrat, you feel that. And then they both come out and they do the same blame game. So I don't really know what your point was on that. But I would say to the veterans, I'm going to build on your point that you said about the veterans. I worked at the VA myself. And so when you speak about the Republicans voting against the veterans bill, what Republicans are you speaking of? Are you speaking of the Republicans dealing with the administration right now, Stephen? You,
Speaking of, yes, I'm speaking
okay,
of the Republicans in the House,
right,
in
right.
Congress,
Okay, and so that's my
Republicans
point.
that are actually
Uh,
in
uh,
the House.
all right, I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure.
and I hear what you.
No, but I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to
I'm
make.
sorry, but I hear what you're saying. I just wanted to chime in real quick, but I hear what you're saying, and you're right that you will have Republicans vote on something, and then sometimes you have Democrats voting with Republicans
Yeah.
on some things, but very, very seldom, a slim chance that you're ever going to get a Republican to actually vote with a Democrat, even if
Hey,
it's right.
my brother,
And
my
take
brother,
notes.
my brother, my brother, my brother. I'm gonna tell you something. This is why. This is where people get upset with me. This is where I actually got fired from my radio broadcast because people actually want to paint you in a corner. And I'm gonna tell you something. You can't blame nothing on the Democrats right now today without actually blaming the Republicans. See, I have to fully disagree with you right there because the Democrats have pushed a lot of BS. We can admit it or not. But guess what? They had a lot of Republican support. So don't say you can't get the Republicans to vote with the Democrats. So that's why I wanted to make sure you were talking about the current administration. And so I understand the Republicans are totally different than what we see with this guy, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a traditional Republican. So the veterans bill that you voted on, the statement that you made, you could not have made that statement when Donald Trump was in the presidency because Donald Trump. I know I might somebody gonna want to come out and say, oh, no, but for the most part, Donald Trump had flying colors, great grades when it comes to the military, and so the military or the VA, the veterans were treated well under Donald Trump. So the veterans bill that you're complaining about now, that would speak to the Republicans showing their true colors when Donald Trump was gone. So we can acknowledge just by you admitting some of the things you're saying. You might not have to acknowledge it, but I'm just saying Donald Trump did great with the Veterans Administration. Even Democrats would have to acknowledge that. Um, and so then you take the new administration, and for whatever reasons, they don't want to support the veterans bill, and you said the Republicans didn't support it either. Now I don't know about it. I'm just taking your words. But so now you have 4 years of great support for the Veterans Administration, and now under the Biden's administration, you find the weak Republicans who didn't want to support it anyway. So it doesn't surprise me that you tell me that the Republicans didn't support the veterans bill. I can almost guarantee you this. The same Republicans that didn't want to support this veterans bill that just went, by the way, I think it's disgusting and a shame that they didn't. But those same ones, if Donald Trump was to win, they will break their wrist or break their arm voting for the next one. What you are seeing now is people fighting for their career before they are fighting for the people. My friend Black Queen Sugar, Black Sugar Queen, how you doing? Welcome to the feed.
Can I just go ahead? I'll let her speak. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say something about that, but I'll let her speak. I believe in being respectful. Go ahead.
Hi, I had to step away from the
Okay.
conversation for a second. I had to take care of my son.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's right.
But I think let him reply and then I'll go.
Okay, so go ahead, Red. She said you go ahead and reply to get it off your chest.
Not actually, that was Stephen. But,
Oh, okay, my friend. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Steven. I'm sorry.
no,
Sorry about that, Red.
it's all good. And see that's where my problem comes in, my friend. That it shouldn't
Thanks a
be
lot, Spencer.
Republican Democrat.
I agree.
Even though you have a Democrat president, if it's a right bill, if it's right for the people, then Congress, Senate is supposed to get on board and fight for the people.
I'm
All
with you.
this monarchy and shifting and this, that, and the other because my party is not there. What happens if your party just don't come in and there's a phenomenal bill or something that can benefit the country and you don't want to pass it because Joe Johnson is not there? That's ridiculous. That's a defeat to the country and to the United States of America. And I'll land my plane with this. And I don't want to go back all the way back to President Obama. But if you look at the years that Obama was president, all the Republicans, forget the fact of his nationality, this, that, and the other, but all the Republicans bucked against everything that he did. They wouldn't go on their side. And that's why I made the comment that it's very seldom that they will actually go on the side of the Democratic Party. And thank you for allowing me to respond back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate your comment. Glendale says vote Trump. Let me see. Let me see. How you doing, Black Sugar Queen? How you doing? You ready to come up?
Yeah, I'm
Lies.
here.
Somebody said, okay, behind
Okay, what
closed
is that
doors.
problem?
Yeah, the original question, Black Queen Sugar, maybe Black Sugar Queen. So my original thing for going, the I started out thinking about James Clyburn and some of the statements he's made lately concerning Biden dropping out, concerning supporting Kamala Harris, and definitely letting the Democratic Party know that I carried a pull that he carried a lot of pull in getting Biden elected and winning the last presidential vote, and so I was asking. Some people are saying a Whitmer, Gretchen Whitmer, and some are saying definitely Kamala Harris if Joe Biden is stepping down. And it looks to be, it really is really seeming to be that he's going to do it, and they rather have him do it rather quickly rather than later. And I was simply trying to get some Democrats or supportive people of Democrats or even Republicans to kind of say, hey, well, this is why I think Kamala would be better. Some people have said they think she'd be good, or this is why I think Gretchen would be better. Nobody has actually said anything for Gretchen yet. But given those two names, I don't know what you think. I obviously we did have one young lady come up and say some good names who she would definitely prefer, and I was familiar with some of those names too. But what would you think, Harris? I mean, what ticket do you see coming out of the Democratic Party? Do you think Joe Biden will actually be the Democratic uh, nominee for the Democrats?
Yes.
Yes. You think it's a little bit
Yep.
too late in the game?
I just don't think he's going to step down. Yeah, I do think it's
Mm.
a little too late in the game.
Okay. So yeah, it's definitely been a power struggle. Jill definitely don't look like she want to let go, and Joe don't look like he want to let go. Um, I mean, like if they, do you think he will finish the ticket with Kamala?
Yes, I think she's still going to be vice president.
Okay, okay, okay. I like it. I'm really, like I said. I mean, I actually think, when I saw James Clyburn speak today, or I mean a couple of days ago, I thought about James Clyburn speaking in 2020, and the fact is, it's nothing to be celebrated yet. We still have July 11th. That's Trump's sentencing day. Nobody knows what's gonna happen,
They
right?
changed that. They
Right?
changed that, my friend.
Oh, they changed. Oh, they
They
changed it. When is
They
that? When is it now?
yes.
they they postponed it
They
to
oh oh wow. And so is it an indefinite date or?
it's sometime in September. He asked for it to be extended.
Ah, wow.
I think he wanted to hear what other. I think he wanted to hear what other information was gonna be shared between now and then, and I guess the logistics or the law or whatever. I mean, to me, I think it was a slam dunk. It's not even debatable. It's not even presidential immunity. That's just my personal opinion, and I have nothing against Trump. Nothing at all against
Oh, you
Trump.
mean? Oh,
The
you
law is
talking?
the law.
Oh, you talking Supreme Court? No, I was talking about. I knew about that getting postponed. I kind of actually agree with the Supreme Court because you don't want the Republicans turning around trying to drag Obama in the court about things he did as president. And you just spoke about some racist people that did not like Obama. You just said it, my friend. So we don't want to open up the door to things like that. And everybody who's been paying attention know of what I'm speaking about in regards to Obama and things that happen with drones and stuff. And so we don't want to open that door. And I say that I'm not a huge fan of Obama, but do I want to see him get attacked just uh, because of who he was and because some people mad at him? Nah. And so I agree with what the Supreme Court did. But I was talking about the sentencing for the 34 guilty counts. That is when
And that
July
was
11th,
changed.
or did that get postponed?
Changed in September.
Okay.
It's changed to September the 18th. And along those lines, what the Supreme Court did was they gave immunity to the president. They
Right.
didn't give immunity to existing, previous presidents. They gave immunity to the president.
Yeah,
So
I
they
think.
really screwed themselves.
Yeah, I
They
think we was really
got
talking about two different
what they
things. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
yeah, but they said it for September
Okay.
for the hush money case.
Yeah, yeah, that case. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't really know if it's good or bad. I kind of think the longer it goes, if Trump kind of seems like he could be what they call unstoppable, I think a jail. I think those bars can stop him. I don't know, man. I would have wanted to get it behind me. I
They
don't
didn't
know.
have no problem. They didn't have no problem getting Bill. They ain't no problem with copying and at his age. So,
Say again.
and I'm not saying that, to make fun. I say they didn't have a problem with putting the famous Cosby in there because of his age. So, I mean, I don't say that to make fun or to be disrespectful, but
Nah.
he
You,
had to
you
do
spoke
that time.
facts. Right, right. Yeah, my friend. That's. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about Gretchen Whitmer, and I don't really even know what qualifications she has. As Black Sugar Queen said it might be just the strength that she speak with, and so, maybe everything I thought about today, it's probably more just in my head. But when James Clyburn speaks, man, it does carry some weight, and if he can, if they can make that ticket look better than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they could win. But I don't know what's better. I don't even know what's better. I don't. Gavin Newsom, his track record lately is not good. And California stands to bear witness to that. So it may be like Queen said. Maybe it definitely has to stay the same to to make it. Let's see. Yes. Mary Bridges, how you doing?
I would agree with Queen.
um, Black Sugar Queen. So, what does a Kamala Harris presidency look like? I say that because if Joe wins, as with Kamala as VP, we know what's going to happen. Give us a great forecast. Give us some hope.
I don't know. I don't know. I think chaotic.
Okay. If it's one thing I've learned about Black Sugar Queen, she's very honest. Do you think there's a possibility that like maybe I mean like do you remember the first debate that she had against Joe Biden, and like do you think it was just a little bit of luck that she looked like such a strong person that she was, and then she turned into just like, and I'm not gonna say some, but she just got always nervous in front of the camera or whatever, and always felt like laughing, like, but it can she actually find it, and I mean, she whiz, she did it for a long time in California as a I mean as a as whatever she was, a
I think
prosecutor.
people. I think people underestimate her at their own peril.
Okay. I actually thought that night when she actually had that debate, and she shocked the world actually, and she couldn't really follow it up, but she definitely shocked the world when she spoke out on Joe Biden with with that whole thing about the bus rides. But after that, it was like, whoa, what happened? And Mike Pence wasn't a great standout as Trump's VP, so it's like, what do VPs do? And so, what chance does she have to show of what leadership she can have? I mean, she had a couple chances, and a lot of people didn't like it, but um, I think we're looking at a great possibility of that, man. So, like I was saying earlier, for a lot of Republicans, who may be disappointed, that's why I was asking a fair question of which one. Uh, okay, so Street 68 says Biden president again, 2024. Which one would you actually rather have if you're a Republican person, civilian, stuck in America, living in America, uh, and the Democrats were standing victorious? Would you rather look at Biden and Harris, or Kamala and somebody else, Kamala and Gretchen? You know, what can happen here? But I like what Black Queen Sugar said, or Black Sugar Queen. My bad. Um, I think
Can I
I
can
think you
I
can't
say
change
something?
it. Yes.
Can Thank you. I think
Oh, my friend. Wait, hold on. So what is this? One none. Okay, okay. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. 93 something 93. Come up and speak to us for a minute.
How you doing, man?
How you doing? I'm so sorry. How you pronounce that?
Conundrum.
Okay, 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 okay,
Sorry. I don't know if there's an echo. I'm actually remodeling my bathroom, and I'm just sitting here listening in.
okay.
So many interesting things you guys are discussing.
Uh,
One in particular, with the Democrats being faced with replacing Joe Biden. There are two main things regarding that that many don't really think about. One is it's going to cost the Democratic Party a lot of money to replace any candidate, right? To put any candidate in right now.
yeah. All right.
People are saying how much money has been spent thus far. They're actually still trying to fundraise as we speak.
Right.
That's one thing. The other thing that the Democrats are very cognizant of is that nowhere in presidential history has any incumbent has ever won the election when their approval rating is polling in the 30s.
Mm,
It's never happened.
okay.
So
I I
it'd be wishful thinking that Joe Biden could, anybody on the Democratic ticket, that Joe Biden could actually win the seat. It has never happened.
okay. I think the Democrats are aware of that, like you said, and those are facts. Um, it's not gonna be easy, but with the problems and everything that exists right now, we're just kind of looking at some possibilities, and yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, I think, and I think as long as a court date can be held, I mean, I don't want to just say as a black guy, but I'll just say I myself can definitely identify with a court date hanging over your head. As long as you have a court date hanging over your head, it's Trump's.
I mean,
No, I don't. No, yeah, I don't really mean it. I don't really mean it in regards to him. I just mean it in regards to no matter how we look at it, and nobody can say. I mean, the bottom line is this, my friend. Um, if you look at, no matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you look at it 6 months ago or maybe 6 months before the trial, everybody had an opinion about.
your sound is going in and out, brother. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm not sure if you or me.
all right, I don't know, but everybody had an opinion on how far this New York trial would go with the 34 cases thing. All right, would they actually, handcuff this guy? Would they actually give him gag orders? Would they actually put him in a cell? Would they actually do this? So I'm just saying, we cannot be surprised at anything that is done at this point. So all I'm saying, when I say a court date hanging over his head, at some point, a lot of people look at it now. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying a lot of people look at it right now and they say this guy is unstoppable. All right, and so at some point he might really look unstoppable, and at at that point when you have somebody who can actually say, um, yeah, I'm gonna give you probation or jail time or house arrest or whatever. But I think that's still a concern, and I'm only saying that to say it's not a foregone conclusion just because and especially when you look at what happened to Joe Biden at the debate. I mean, that was horrible, and so and so I'm just saying it is things like that will continue to make those Democrats that are said to be running scared pull out all stops. And all stops, what's the last buck? Who has the last stop and say? Judge Merchan. Not even the voters, even though they can vote for Trump while he's in jail, but whatever. You're not going to get the same base amount of people to vote for you while you're in jail. You can have your MAGA base, but you're not going to get the same vote if you're in jail. And so I'm just speaking of Judge Merchan when I say, last somebody who's going to have the last word. God got the last word, but what I'm just saying right now, we've seen somebody, a Democratic machine that seems to be don't mind how far they push the limit, and so I'm just saying it's not a bad conversation for people who been thinking that Republicans may win. Yeah.
Does anybody else on the panel? I don't know if it's just me. Does anybody else on the panel hear him going in and out?
I don't know.
I hear him going in and out as well.
Yeah, you sound.
Well,
it's almost like you have your hand over your mouth talking.
okay, well, maybe somebody else probably got to mute their mic, maybe possibly. That's better. You hear me better now?
100 times better.
Okay, all right. My fault. Because I couldn't tell on my end, my friend. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and I just definitely don't want to. I was speaking mainly to some of my Democratic friends, and one question I started out with was, tell me something I don't know, because if we end up with somebody as a president under the Democratic Party that I don't know about, I would love to know. So I didn't come on as somebody who know it all. I actually came on asking questions. What don't I know? Why is Gretchen Whitmer being? Why is Gretchen Whitmer being?
What's your favorite sport?
What?
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport?
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with I gamble, so I go with the betting team, to be honest. I like some Steph Curry, and I love.
So your favorite sport is basketball, and I'm sure you have a favorite team. But I'm sure that still at some point, because you love that sport, it's easy for you to look at two other teams playing that's not your favorite team and actually be able to enjoy the game,
No,
right?
no doubt. Yes.
So that's how I look at politics. And people don't get how I look at politics. I love politics and I love the application of law. Okay?
Okay.
And I could look at something and I can be partial with being able to enjoy understanding both sides of the spectrum.
Okay. Me too. I actually agree with that, and I actually would like to add, no pun intended, but me too.
So let me ask you, my friend. So
Mhm.
what's the general? I didn't really get the point on that. Maybe I'm slow. I don't know.
One Nundrum just said? Q Nundrum?
Yes.
You mean on what Q Nundrum just said?
What's this question?
Yes. I didn't really
Well,
catch the punch on. I didn't really catch where you were going with that. I understand
well,
the scenario of a favorite team and looking at something
well. The thing is,
and
let me say real quick, and
Well,
then
okay.
and
So the point is with it is that I could be a liberal. I could have a liberal side
right,
and still enjoy the operation of politics from the Republican side.
right.
I could
That's
be a
right.
conservative and still enjoy the operation of politics from the liberal side.
And my friend
I
Steven,
could look at a trial,
that's all you want.
such as Bill Cosby. I didn't have a side in Bill Cosby trial, but I enjoy watching the application of law from both sides. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I definitely understand it. I definitely understand it, and I agree with it. You have to, and that's what I was telling. I don't know if it was Steven or Red, but that's similar to what I was saying. When it came to your kids, you have to actually look at something. You have to pick. It's almost like they're saying pick your poisons. But there's gonna be goods over here. There's gonna be goods over there, uh, and you have to take out the things that you don't, take out a few ingredients, but you still can enjoy the dish. You don't have to throw the whole dish away because you don't like one thing, and you don't have to eat the whole dish because you like one thing. I just think so many times, and you can see it more than ever right now. People who wanna, most people who support the Democratic Party, most of the time, I like. It was a young lady on earlier. She came flat out and said, "I support Joe Biden," but she was very open in conversation. I very seldom find that. And that was a great, pleasing conversation. And then on the other hand, Black Sugar Queen came on, and she disagreed with a lot of what I said, and also supported me. And then when she told me her political party, I was surprised. And so, it's about being able to stand back and be able to say and articulate, as Black Sugar Queen was doing. I can articulate from over here to the point where you won't even know who I support, and then I could surprise you because I agree with you here. That doesn't mean I would go there with you. And that's the problem with people today. Some people are ready to jump off a cliff because of one thing, because of a person they don't like. They don't like an attitude, a tweet, and then some people are ready to jump off a cliff because of somebody's history. They don't like the crime bill or this and that.
Well,
That
there are, and you'll find this. I see this a lot. They won't allow you to be not decided
right,
or undecided. If you ever just for the sake of testing it, go into another live where they're talking about either Joe Biden or either Donald Trump as the favorite person in that live, and tell them you're undecided. They'll get upset with you.
right. Oh yeah,
Just
no
leave it
doubt.
hell.
That's right. That's right, and that's one reason that excuse me, I'm sorry, sir, but that's one reason that I don't go. And I enjoyed myself just sitting here because I like your mannerism, I like your openness, I like the way that you communicate.
Yeah, you're breaking up, my friend.
Said I appreciate your mannerism and how you compare yourself because there's some lives that you're thinking you're in a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because if you say you're voting for one person, people tell you you're un-American, you're not patriotic, you need to get off of here, you need to go back to this, and it's just ridiculous. And I mean, we're all Americans.
Yeah.
I support you, whoever you support. Please support me for whoever I support. I may not agree with you, and I think you're a very great host. I enjoy just listening to you. You bring flavor. You don't bring a whole lot of drama.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
That's what's more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man, because this is what I learned. I learned so much. Like I said, Black Sugar Queen. I had my laptop out last night, as they were speaking. Her and probably somebody else gave me a couple of sites, and but full of information. And the only way you can hear it is if people actually articulate it to you, and not from a side of some in your feelings. I'm in my feelings, and yelling without any type of proof, reference, or anything. And I find it to be educational. Awareness is great. You walk away learning something that you you may have not known, and that's what it's all about in the end, my brother. Iron sharpen iron. So sometimes I come on here to be sharpened, just like I like to sharpen some other people. And I find this in the end. I don't care who people vote for. If people, I don't have my real name on here, but if people, knew or got on my page and stuff, they would understand a lot more about me. A lot of what has happened over the last, let me see, since 2016, actually, maybe even since Obama, that is what turned me into the guy I am now. That's definitely what happened to me when it comes to some of the music I represent now and some of the things I do. But before that, before Black Lives Matter was overtaken by bad leaders, I was the guy that was supportive, and well before they were overtaken with bad leadership. That was me. That was me, definitely. That was me flying out to California, fighting with, trying to, be in a Black Panther Party. And so I know what it is. I know how long the progressive movements have been mad at Democrats. They've been mad at Republicans. And so in 2015 or 16, when Trump started talking, I just heard a whole different language. And I just started seeing what people was willing to do. And as a man with a past, a prison past, I saw how people used his past mainly to start tearing him down again. And to be honest, it hurt. Because it was from some of the same people that actually was calling themselves forgiving me. And it's like, oh wow. So people don't get second chances. And so it made me look into the guy. It made me look into Trump. I wasn't a Trump fan. I knew nothing about him. All I knew is people, rap music and all this crazy stuff was loving him. And I just learned that America, through the help of the media and social media, the news, they can change opinions really fast. And they are powerful with it when they can run it, just like the radio. We got our kids singing words that they can't even pronounce. And but if they hear it 100 times a day, it's gonna become catchy. And I said 100. It's actually probably 200 times a day if you're listening to the radio. So, man, we up against a beast, and I just want my people to make an informed decision. And because the government isn't for us, man. It's not for us at all. But there is one side that can make a better decision, and there is one side that probably can leave some doors open a little bit wider for the fight to continue. And as a revolutionary, I've never heard the Republicans talk about some of the things that the Democrats are doing now, and it's kind of scary. People like Brother Rizzler X and a lot of these young leaders that's coming up, according to some of the things that we've been seeing with this control of information, man, we effectively watching, a real revolution, and it ain't the revolution a lot of people been asking for. This revolution is coming from the other side, and we don't even know it, And so that's me, I just want people to be informed, man, and make informed decisions. And anytime I can, I appreciate those who can help inform me.
To the host, you just made me realize something.
Hmm.
I'm 53 years old.
Yes, sir.
I've been paying attention to politics since high school.
Hmm.
And I've never ever, and I can be very brutally honest when I say this, I have never, ever asked anyone who they're voting for.
Mm.
Never. And I guess because it was never if I was interested in voting for a candidate, I don't want to convince you to vote for him because of the reason why I'm voting for him.
Okay.
Whatever your reasons for voting for a candidate might be worlds different from why I'm
From
voting
yours. Right. Right. Yeah.
here in New Orleans, there was a gentleman by the name of Nola Marshall. He was actually the first black school portrait provider in Louisiana. And he covered some of Alabama, he covered some of Mississippi. And he didn't like George Wallace, but he followed George Wallace's policy, which was to stay segregated. That was his position. He thought as though if the country became desegregated, he would lose his business. And that's exactly what happened.
Right. Are you speaking of what who is you speaking of again?
George Wallace, the gentleman who
Ah,
called
okay,
segregation
okay,
now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever.
okay, okay. Yeah, I mean that's what we was up against.
So where would your LSU's and your Florida states and your Ohio states be without the black athlete? Where would the HBCUs be if those black athletes had to only utilize those black spaces?
Opposite. Yeah, they definitely be in different positions.
So
My,
in 1960, every HBCU in the country utilized black companies for the purposes of graduation services, class rings, jackets, caps and gowns, graduation regalia. Every HBCU. Now, you couldn't find one HBCU that uses a black company for graduation regalia. Not one.
wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a real tearing down of that of that part of our education. My brother Johnny says he's sitting the election out. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Johnny? You don't really feel you have a real stake in it? Come up and talk about it.
I mean, I don't. My hero is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Silas Lee.
Mm-hmm.
He is a political analyst here in Louisiana, and he hasn't participated in an election since Obama. And prior to that, he hadn't participated in the election since Reagan. But he is spot on with his political analysis. So if people have reasons why they don't want to participate, hey, I don't guilt them for not being a part of it.
Oh no. Me either. I mean, when anybody don't want to be a part of it, it's totally up to you because some people feel, people got their reasons, but hey, he put it up here, so I wanted to know what was his reasons. I like to hear people reasons if they don't mind sharing it, and he put it up there. Um, I actually think most of the time you find when I do see people make that statement, when you ask out of a few questions, it's most of the time it seems like some things are in common. You know, pay, pay grade, kids or no kids, married or not married. Um, I think most of the time, most of the families I speak to, whether they vote blue or red, they feel like even if it's just for the sake of my children's future, if you're in a certain pay bracket, tax bracket, it is important. My friend Johnny might not be in that tax bracket, or he might not need to depend on one single thing which way the government goes. And he might just feel like, hey, my faith is in God. I don't care. So whatever the reason is, you're definitely right. You don't have to share it. But I just wanted to know since he shared it with us. Anyway, Black Sugar Queen, the silent one tonight.
Disagree. I disagree with you on that point.
Okay, okay, there you go. Let's go. Which point? Which point?
When you said, it might be on him, or I mean that you respect his point of view. I don't respect it.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't.
okay, okay. Let's
I don't
talk.
respect
Let's.
people's point of view who refuse to vote, especially if they're from our ancestry and they refuse to vote after what our ancestors had to go through just to vote.
You know what? You know what? I could. I. You know. I do. You gonna keep on adding on to that? Please do. But I just want to say I thank you for correcting me. And I do want to say this. I said that. I said that. Sometimes I don't know. It's something about TikTok, or you just got to keep it because people will turn around and have you. But I do want to come out and say I agree with you 100%, and I'm so glad that you called me on that. And I agree with what you said, as you could kind of tell by what I said. But I agree with what you said 100%. I think it does matter, and I should not have any respect for that at all. I don't. And so, but anyway, continue saying why you don't as well.
Said what? I'm sorry, you broke up at the
I,
end.
I know I kind of cut you off because I wanted to gratefully appreciate your straightening, and so, but I wanted you to continue.
Oh no, I had landed my plane.
Ooh, landed my plane. Who started that? Where he at? Was that Steven? Oh, I liked that. Landed. I'm a,
I think the gentleman just said that he's not. Well, I'm assuming. Maybe you can clear it up. Um, to the gentleman who said he's sitting this election out, is he? Do you sit out of your local elections? That's the one that's most important, um, in my opinion. Um, those local elections will affect you 5 times over before a national election will.
yeah, I think it's definitely important to do your local elections. Johnny, how about that? Are you doing your local elections? Johnny kind of made a comment and eased up out of here. I guess I don't really know, but he did exactly what I'm about to do. And man, it's funny. It's funny. I thought I see it. I really, really, really was hoping somebody would actually talk to me about Gretchen and Kamala, because I was actually really surprised to hear Gretchen's name as much as I've heard it today. And I've heard it in a way that Republicans actually feel pretty scared about what's going on. And so, like I said, James Clyburn got him kind of shaking. And but I like what Queen said. I think it's too late in the game to change. Jill Biden and a few other close people with Joe don't want to let go, and or don't want to push him out. I should say so. Yeah, I think the ticket stays the same, and so the only thing now is what does Marshawn do if Trump starts looking unstoppable, and that remains to be seen. Yeah, indeed. Yes, indeed. With that, my friend, one conundrum. 93, man. I appreciate your articulation, man, on everything, and I always appreciate you, Black Sugar Queen. Please, yes, stay informed. Bring the news, man. Keep informing the people anytime you can. That's right.
Yeah, I got some more homework for you too before I leave here.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Look up the 1984 crime bill.
Oh wow! So it is. So it's an 84 and a 9. Let me see. Hold on.
Absolutely.
Wow. Somebody actually who was behind this one?
John Thurman was the author.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Joe Biden too. Then I saw him talking about that one. So who was behind?
He was 94. Joe Biden's crime bill was 94. I said 84.
Okay. All right. I'm on 84 right now. Comprehensive crime control. All right. I'm gonna get on this like right now. Pronto, I'm already on it actually. So I'm finna do this. I got on the stuff last night. Yes. Yeah, man. I appreciate the information to the people. And believe me, when I get it, I pass it back. I pass it back. That's what we supposed to do.
Well, you know the Bible says we die from a lack of
Of
what?
knowledge. That's right.
Knowledge.
That's right, my sister. That's it. That's it. We die from
Y'all
a
have a
lack of
good night,
knowledge.
okay?
Say it one more time.
I said y'all have a good night.
Yes, you have a good night, and I appreciate you. Uh, you have a good night, you too. I appreciate you for joining in and listening, and thank you very much, my sister, my friends. I'm out. God is good.